As you guys recall, there are classifications for trademark applications, and marks are filed under specific classifications to cover certain types of goods and or services. So in this case, a mobile application is considered a good because it's an application. So it may also be appropriate to not just file your trademark under class 9. You may actually also want to file in other classes. So let's talk about that. Let's get into that in this episode. So first things first, I want to show you guys how the USPTO classifies class 9 and how it provides descriptions and examples of it. So I just searched for USPTO NIS classification, and it's the first hit, and it gives you a very, very nice just description of all the various classes. So if we do a quick search and go directly to class 9, what we're going to find, science, research, navigation. But if you scroll down, you'll actually see downloaded and recorded media. So let's scroll down. Yeah, there it is. Recorded and downloadable media right there. Computer software. That's class 9. So that's why whenever we file a trademark application on, say, a logo for a mobile app, we would file under class 9. Now, the reason why I want to do this episode is because I want to show you guys that there's possibly other classifications that you might fall under. So the most obvious example is when you have a mobile application, but there's also a desktop version of it. In other words, there's also a way for users to log in online without downloading any mobile application whatsoever. So they open their browser and they go to a desktop interface that allows them to access the same service. Now, that's the key word there. So that's a service. So you have to consider also whether or not your mobile application qualifies as being under software as a service. So a lot of products out there, a lot of mobile apps out there also have a desktop side where it's a software as a service where you don't need to download anything on your phone, but you're able to actually access the services through an online portal, an online version that doesn't involve any download whatsoever. So again, that would be more appropriate also under class 42. So that's something to consider. You might possibly want to file under both classes 9 and 42 if you in fact are offering a desktop version. So let's show you some examples. But before that, we do that though, let me show you guys where class 42 is here. So if we go down to class 42, you're going to see, scroll down, you're going to find software as a service and platform as a service. So again, pretty neat. It's a consideration. You may not want to just be under class 9. You might want to also consider being under class 42. One other classification that I want to also show you guys is class 35, because if you're providing business services, it might also be appropriate to, for example, B2B services, you might also want to file under class 35. Now, one of the huge considerations, of course, is cost, right? Because each class is going to be an additional $275 or $225 if you do the TS Plus application. So it's a consideration. However, I still think it's better to be in more than one class, especially if you have the budget for it, because it indicates broader brand protection, especially if your mark is spanning multiple classes. So again, class 35 is going to cover anything that involves working or management of commercial undertaking or basically B2B services. So something to consider. You guys might also, it also might be appropriate. So let's see some examples. I want to show you guys. So let's go to tsdr.uspto.gov. Let's actually do some searching on some interesting trademarks for some interesting companies. Let's look at, for example, a company like DoorDash. Oh, Caviar is also a good example because I believe they also have a downloadable, here we go. Online ordering services. Again, here we go, class 35. So here's a perfect example. So I think we have 3 already where you think if it just is a mobile application, but in reality, it actually spans multiple classes. So let's write these out here so that be very helpful to you guys. Let's see if we can find these various examples. So we have class 9, 35, and 42. So here's 35. So online ordering service, but let's also see what else they filed under. Here we go, 9 and 42. So classic example, you have what may seem like just one mobile application, but whenever they are actually filing, they actually take into consideration other parts of their business. For example, SaaS products, so software as a service. So software, now here's the keyword here, non-downloadable. So non-downloadable software for use in ordering, paying for, and tracking food delivery. So company like DoorDash, they have a mobile application, but they also have a desktop version that offers software as a service. And so they're also going to be under class 42. So in this example, this is a perfect example because we have class 9, class 35, and class 42. Caviar also came up. Let's see what they did. Here we go. Also class 35. So providing a website featuring online ordering service. Now, I'm going to guess that they probably also have something similar because there's a mobile app component to them. So let's see what else they did. Here you go. Here's your class 9. So downloadable software for accessing and providing restaurant and food order delivery services. So there you go. So Caviar, class 35, class 9. So yes, it has a mobile app side to it, but there's also software as a service side to it as well. And so they've also covered that, protected that. So let's see if we can find 42. Here's 35. Okay, this is, again, online business services. Let's see, they have one more here. 39. Okay. Here's class 9. Downloadable software for use in ordering, paying for, and tracking food delivery. So there you have it. Great example. A lot of companies will do this where, yes, they do have a mobile application, but they actually are going to file under multiple classes. So let's see. So we did a search earlier on Facebook. Let's see what they have. Actually, I'm also going to do a search for classes. See what comes up here. Okay. As you guys know, there's a Facebook download mobile application, but they also have an online portal. So, sorry, you don't have to necessarily download the mobile app in order to use their service. Let's take a look at what we can find here. So these are some of the early ones. You see what I did is I scrolled to the very end. So let's take a look at these. So here's class 9, here's class 35, and here's class 42. So again, this is a really, really good example where you have what seems like maybe what would be maybe just one classification because they put out mobile apps, but when you look at what they actually filed, many different classes. So also class 45, obviously 42, also in publishing under 41, 38, providing online chat boards, and then advertising under 35, and then class 9, computer software development tools. For social networking. Really, the point of this episode is I'm trying to show you guys that it's a consideration. You might want to see if you can fall under multiple classes. Again, this one interesting. So here they've actually shown where they're actually claiming color, right? So they're actually claiming the blue and the white as a feature of the mark, not just the black and white version. So just to quickly recap, I just wanted to again just give you guys a quick summary. So we did a whole series of episodes on the show on filing for trademark applications on your mobile application under class 9, but just consider whether or not you might want to file under more than one class. So not just class 9, but also ask yourself, is there a desktop online version where users can log in and use the service as well? If that's the case, then you might also want to file under class 42. You might also want to see if you might qualify under class 35 as providing business services. So this particular question actually comes up often. Now, the reason why is because we have clients, of course, that have mobile apps that also have desktop interface completely separate, which doesn't require any sort of mobile app downloads. So it's a consideration. Now, of course, cost is a big consideration. So you're going to want to ask yourself, okay, do I have the budget to file under 2 classes? Because if you're filing under 2 classes, $275 each, that puts you at $550 just for filing fees. So it's a consideration. But I hope you guys found this helpful. Again, think about your product overall and your service overall. Ask yourself, can my mark actually fall under multiple classes? And if so, is it worth pursuing? So thank you guys for watching. If you guys have